Here we go. This is a 2011 GSX-R 600. I took my bike out about a week ago, and by the time I got back, the bike had developed a low RPM stumble when it's idling. I suspect it's the spark plugs. So this video is aimed at how to change the spark plugs on this motorcycle in particular. In the next clip, I will start the bike up so you can see exactly what it's doing. The first step here is to remove this plastic piece right here. You're going to pop it out at the bottom here. There's a little Velcro tab. Comes off just like that. Once you get the other side taken off, there are two screws, one here and one over here on this side. After you remove the two bolts, make sure you don't lose the two little pieces here. You have a little spacer and a washer. You're going to want to put those in something like that, magnetic, or sometimes what I will do is I will put them right back in the holes that they came out of so you don't lose them and you know exactly where they go. It's a really good method. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to raise the tank. How we're going to do that is remove this bolt and this bolt. Once we do that, we'll be able to raise the tank up, and that way we can access the under portion of this. Once you remove those two bolts, you want to grab your key, take the rear seat off here. Underneath of it should be the prop to hold your tank up, and which mine is gone. I guess it fell out after one of those sick wheelies that I was doing. Alright, the next step here is to remove the air filter. Just pull up on it like that, pop it out. As you can see, that's pretty dirty, so we're going to replace that while we're in here too. And then there's 6 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once you do that, we'll pop these little black pieces off here. Be on to the next step. You don't have to take these all the way out. They're kind of locked in there anyways. You just screw them out until they're loose. Alright, get those loose. You want to pop these out of here. Take them out and leave them in order wherever you set them so you know how to put them back in there correctly. And then we're off to the next step here. Okay, so before we can pull this out of here, we need to pull the ECM up out of here. Get it up and out of the way. Anywhere's fine, just like that. And then over here you have one little electrical connection. And then also a little rubber hose here that we need to disconnect before this thing will slide up out of here. What I'm going to do here is just use a screwdriver, pop it loose, push it down, boom, disconnected. Now you're going to want to grab a pair of pliers for this other side. Get this hose out of the way. You can see right here, just a little clip. Take some pliers, loosen it up, push it down. That way it's loose. And take the pliers. Get it loose from there. There you go. And the last step here, you don't want to forget, remove these two hoses here on the back. They got little clips on them as well. They just, you can use your fingers to get those off. They're not that hard. Alright, and again, probably going to want to take your pliers here, break those hoses loose, they can get stuck. There we go. Alright, once you do that, you can kind of pull this thing up out of here. One side at a time is probably the best. Be careful not to drop any dust, dirt down in your throttle bodies there. And remove it, put it out of the way. Next step here, disconnect your spark plug wires. Pretty simple. And then just kind of want to twist these. Pull straight up. Make sure you pull these out straight up and then put them in the order so you know how to put them back on. You don't want to mix these up. There we go. That's the last one. Now we're able to access the plugs themselves. Let me grab a spark plug adapter to remove it. It shouldn't be in there too tight. Once you get a little loose, you probably spin it out with your fingers. That's what you do with the rest of them. Looking at these plugs, there seems to be some oil on the threads. I don't know if that was just for anti-seize measures or if that's some type of blow-by. I'm not sure, I'm going to look that up, but plugs don't look too bad themselves, but I'm going to go ahead and just replace them. The next step is putting these back in the bike. You're going to want to have your socket here, little rubber piece in there that's so the spark plug does not fall out. If that falls down into the head there, it could mess your gapping up and your bike would be off. So that's very important. You want to follow that step there. As you can see, I got the Suzuki all here back together. All I did really was follow the steps in reverse. It's that simple. Put it back together, and now it's the moment of truth. We're going to fire this thing up and see if it fixes it. There you go. I drove it around the block. No low RPM stumble. Looks like the bike is fixed.